Hi, welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Laura. Hello, hi, welcome. Today we are going to do my 3 looks, 1 palette on my ABH Subculture palette here. This is by far one of my absolute favorite palettes. I think the color story is beautiful. I will show you all of the wear and tear that this palette has. This is a favorite in my collection. I get so much use out of this. I pair it with so many different eyeshadows, but today what I have for you is a 3 looks using nothing but my ABH Subculture. I also went ahead and I did a look using every single shade in this palette. So not a shade went untouched, unloved in this video. I hope that this gives you some inspiration. If you have this or if you don't have this, you get some inspiration to try looks that maybe you didn't think to do before, or maybe some eye pairings that you didn't try before. So without further ado, let's get into about a couple weeks ago when I did my first look at this. All right. Hello, welcome to my face. I can't wait to do the first look with my favorite palette of all time, Subculture. I figure since this palette has so much love in it, I figured I'll start with my favorite shade and do a look centered around electric here. First, I am going to take the shade Dawn. So I'm just going to take that on a fluffy brush and blend that into the highest portion of my crease. I'm going to take the mustard shade Edge and put that right on the center, or not the center, the inner portion of my eyes. So like the inner crease, if that makes sense. I'm gonna use the same brush and I'm gonna go into Destiny, which is the army green kind of shade. And we're putting that on the outer portion of the eye. I do think these shades perform a little bit better with a synthetic brush. The natural bristle brushes are fine, but I just think in terms of application, this is not synthetic. This is a natural hair brush, I believe. It feels like a natural hair brush. So it's just, I feel like a little patchier than normal. This is the brush that we used to put Dawn down first. And I just kind of like using the same brushes over and over again. I think that it just makes the blend a little bit better. And I'm just gonna continue to like build up and blend out this Destiny shade. And I'm gonna go back into Edge, the mustard, and re-intensify this and just kind of blend it into Destiny there. I am going to take some of my P. Louise base. This is in Yes I Yellow, I don't know. Like a glitter glue would work as well, just something to like make it a little bit more tacky. Not really going for a cut crease. I just kind of want to place the base down. All right, and then on the same brush, I'm going to pick up Electric. I'll tell you, every single time I use it, it just like re-intensifies my love for it. You might ask yourself, yes, I am going and packing on a bunch of the shade, but I think that that really just, it looks so pretty. It looks so pretty. All right, I definitely feel like Edge, the mustard, got lost, so I am gonna pick, oh gosh, which brush? Some more of it up on my Profusion brush. So right on the tippy top of the crease. That's also going to help make this not look so cut creasy. going to take that first brush again and just blend everything to a happy place. And then I'm gonna go and grab Destiny. Okay, I am gonna go and I'm gonna put the rest of my face on. Okay, so I'm gonna take Mercury. It's that like gray taupey shade in the palette. All right, I'm gonna take the brush that had Destiny on it and then just blend that a bit. Nothing has product on it that nothing has additional product on it. It's just whatever was left on the brush. And then last, that big fluffy brush from the beginning. I feel like it's missing something. I'm gonna take Untamed. It's a little more difficult to work with than any of the other. This brush is not the best. It's like kind of falling apart at the ferrule, so it might not have been the best brush to choose. Okay, I think that this is really, really pretty. I'm gonna chuck one of my face highlights on. I'm kind of leaning towards this shade here mixed with the gold shade. All right, so this is look number 1. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely love this look. I love electric. I love yellow eyeshadows. I think that this is so pretty. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can't say enough about it. I love it. All right, so I will see you in look number 2 in like 2 seconds. Welcome to my face day 2. I'm gonna scooch over here so I can have a picture of the shade that we're working with. Okay, so I'm gonna take just a super fluffy brush. I don't know if this one is still around, but I'm gonna take New Wave. And then I'm gonna take a brush that has no product on it. This is just this actually might be a highlighter brush technically, but I am just gonna diffuse the color up here out. Yeah, I like how that's looking. It's just a really soft and diffused orange. I'm gonna take All Star, which is the which is the shade that I'm working on in a project, and I'm gonna take this another fluffy blendy brush. And then I'm going to take that brush that we were using for New Wave, the orange, and I'm just going to blend All Star out with this. Pick a tiny bit up to bridge. And then I'm wiping my brush off on a makeup cloth, and I'm going to just blend with the same brush that I've been packing an All Star on with. This is a Bare Minerals brush, but we're gonna use it. I'm gonna pick Rowdy up and then tap that on the very outer and inner corner. This brush is super small. So just a really small amount. I'm going to actually wipe that brush off because I don't want to deposit any more color. And then I'm taking that previous brush. Grab a little more All-Star. I just don't want that color to get lost in all of this. And I feel like it's starting to. I grabbed a little bit more rowdy and now I'm gonna just blend it out. I just don't want the inner corner to be darker than the outer in terms of like how impactful rowdy is. So, and then I'm going to take that brush from the first step and just blend. I'm going to go in with Adorn now, which is the like bronzy shade. It's probably my least used, I think it is my least used shade in this palette, which is weird because I think it's the one that probably most people would argue to say it performs the best. And then I'm going to do everything. I'm going to just use the same brushes and then just kind of blend things out. No additional product is on these brushes, just kind of using them to help blend. And then I'm just patting right on the, I'm dipping in and patting right in the center part of that. I don't want this color to be lost, but I want it to still be blended. So just tapping into the center of the lid will help keep the integrity and intensity of the shade with having these sides still blended. Okay, so that is what we're looking at like right now for the eyes. So I'm back. I have my face on. I threw some lash primer on, so if my eyelashes look a little weird, it's because I have a lash primer on. And my trick with lash primers is I like to let them sit and like dry down a little bit, so like when you put the mascara on, it doesn't just turn it gray. So I am going to tackle the lower lash line now. I didn't think about what I wanted to do with the lower lashes, to be quite honest. I think we're gonna do basically what we did on the lid, but instead of this Adorn shade, we're going to use New Wave in the center. What I'm going to do is use the brush that had Rowdy on it, and I'm going to use that for everything. It looks really disgusting, but I just took this out of the wash, makeup remover cloth that I'm going to just keep zhuzhing the product off of. So at first I'm going to take Rowdy. So start with the darkest, you know. And I did put eyeliner in my waterline and my tight line. Oh, stabbed myself. Okay, now that we're looking nice and smoky, I'm gonna just take a dense fluffy brush, if that makes sense. Just to help buff the edges out of this. And then we're gonna take All Star and go slightly more in. Ooh, she's looking deep, dark, and sultry. I might not be able to fit New Wave in. I really like how this looks though, honestly, that lower lash line. When I worked at Bare Minerals, one of the managers told me that I shouldn't wear, he said it was unflattering for my eye shape to wear like a product on my lower lash line. And I just have to say, screw you, guy. I think that this looks good. Okay, I think it was a good move to put New Wave there. Okay, and now that we have that blended out a little bit, I'm gonna take the brush that had New Wave on it first. I'm gonna wipe off any product that's on it. I did already put a brow bone highlight on. I just used my NYX Strobe of Genius palette, but I will be putting my inner corner on with you guys. I really like this. So what I'm gonna do for my inner corner is I have, I'm just using this as a base. This is just a like metallic, kind of like champagne silvery color. Then I am just opting to use a brush to make it a little bit more precise. And then what we're going to do is I have this highlight shade, or I guess this is just a Super Shock from my Sailor Moon palette, and I am going to take it on that brush because somehow this brush picks up Super Shock. Not really sure, but this is like a gold tone, this Super Shock, so I think it'll just help tie in that like coppery bronzy shade. Okay, and then I'm going to take it right on the very center. I'm going to do my mascara and then zoom out for the grand reveal. All right, so this is the finished look. I really like this one. I don't wear like bronzy coppery shades anymore too much, but I think I really need to start wearing them more. I think that this just like really complements my eye color. I don't know. I will see you in look number 3 right now. Today, we're gonna need a couple things for this look. One, I've already primed my eyes using my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. I'm really just trying to use this up. So items that we are gonna need for today's look. You're gonna need tape. I'm opting for washi tape because it's a little bit more gentle. If you're using Scotch tape, do the trick where if you're using Scotch tape instead of like washi tape, do the trick where you put it on your hand and lift it off. That takes a little bit of the glue off and leaves it a little less abrasive for your eye area. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut a pretty decently long piece of tape, maybe 1.5 inches long. I am going to place it like so. We are going to do a really dramatic wing look today, and if these, I'm not like the best at, did I place those actually good today? I think so. I think I placed those relatively the same. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take a blending brush. Again, I will, not over here, I will have a picture of the Subculture palette over here, and then the brush that I'm using will be over here. So I'm going to pick up Roxy because we're going to use the last like 4 shades that I haven't used yet in this series, and I'm going to pop this, make sure my primer is not aggressive. I am going to just pat this in the crease. And I'm kind of pouncing the product first just because I don't want it really like impactful in one area. It's just like a wash of color kind of step. You could use your bronzer for this step as well. It's just really to give us some definition in the eye because I don't really want anything on the lid at all. So hopefully you guys can see the difference that made. Not a ton, but some. So I have a relatively clean stained brush, and I'm going to just blend all of this out because I don't want to put any more color on. I'm going to take my liner and just, I'm going to use a angled brush also, but really I'm just going to draw this on. This is going to just be a base for the shades that we're going to put onto it. So I just want to start drawing in Lock Wing. And now that I have like the color on, I'm gonna just finesse it with this angled brush. I'm going to show you what I did to practice this. I used the P. Louise base, and that way I like to have something that has a little bit of color to it. That way you can see where you're going to put the colors eventually. So it's kind of why I am using this as a base. So now that we have this on, I like the shape that it is. It's a little bit dramatic, but not too much. Make sure you get nice, and if you draw over the tape, that's fine, because nothing's gonna apply there, and then it'll make a nice thinned outline over there. I am going to take a different brush than my liner brush, but you can use the liner brush also. So I'm gonna pick Access up first, which is the deep dark like teal shade, and I'm gonna put this on the outer, very outer edge, and then just start blending it towards the inner portion. Picked up a little bit more, and I'm just tapping it on. So I don't necessarily want the metallic to show through, but with my look, I think it's gonna poke through a little bit regardless. The next thing I'm gonna do, I wiped my brush off on my washcloth. I'm gonna actually take 𝙒𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙀, which is going to be the front of this wing. And this is the same shade that we used in the crease. Wipe that off again, and then we're going to take Fudge in the middle just to help blend these two shades a little bit better. I could take or leave Fudge in this look personally, but I wanted to use every single shade, and I did not want to just throw this on the lower lash line. And there's a lot of outside traffic today. I've wiped the brush off, and now I'm just going to kind of blend everything together. I will continue to wipe my brush off in between shades. So right now I'm working in between Access and Fudge. I will wipe it off, and then I will blend 𝙒𝙤𝙤𝙢 and Fudge. Fudge is still showing a lot of the metallic through it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up a little bit more and tap it. And I am actually tapping it, I'm not rubbing it right now. Blending. I'm gonna mix a little bit of Fudge and Access. And then I'm gonna pick up Fudge and 𝙒𝙤𝙤𝙢. See, I didn't wipe my brush off, and I got 𝙒𝙤𝙤𝙢 all the way over here, and I don't like that. Okay, so that is really what we're looking at. What I'm gonna do is I'm wiping my brush off completely. I'm gonna start just lightly blending the edges. I do wipe my brush off before I go over towards 𝙒𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙀, just so I don't muddy that like peachy corally shade with Access. But I think this is kind of what I want. So I'm going to do my other eye. So I cleaned off, I used this yesterday, which had purple on it, but I've cleaned it off, and I'm going to use this, like, it's just a really small brush, and I'm going to use that for Cube, I'm gonna really load it on because Cube doesn't pick up that much product for me. I'm gonna load that up and then really just tap that in the inner corner. And then last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that brush that had nothing on it and then just kind of buff the outer side of, or like the upper side of Cube. So it's not like just a stark like spot of color. I am gonna put my face highlight as a brow bone highlight. So I'm gonna do the rest of my face and I will be right back. So I actually ran Mercury through my eyebrows and then I put my Revlon Ultra HD lip color on, and then I actually tapped Roxy on top of my lip just to make it a little bit of the tone that I wanted. That way it goes a little bit better than having like that kind of with it. But I really like how this turned out. I think that this is nice. You can wear it with like a nice bold lip because the eye is relatively simple. Yeah, I got mascara in my crease that I haven't fixed yet. So that is it. That is all 3 looks using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette, my favorite palette of all time. And I hope you guys got some inspiration, are able to mix and match shades out of this, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye!